How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI. If you guys remember what I was talking about in my previous video, there's a chance this stock could visit the 52-week low. It did exactly that. I was unable to put a video out for you guys. You could probably tell from my voice, I was not feeling well whatsoever. So of course, before this new week starts, I want to make sure you're prepared. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $7.87, being down 3.08%. On the low, it tested $7.78, and then on the high, testing $8.10. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 39.038 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 51.594 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and we also had some weakness in the market, so that impacted SOFI stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you could see from the RSI down below, it is at 35.64. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So it is very clear to see that SOFI has been on quite the downtrend, and it's also looking bearish since it's trading below all of our major moving averages. And if you guys remember what I said in the previous video, we could see SOFI testing back to the 52-week lows right here at $7.74. That's what it was previously, but since it broke through it and made a new one going down to $7.64. So I could see some more downside for SOFI for this coming week. And what do I mean by this? I could see us getting into the $6 range. And I feel this would present quite the opportunity for any investors who are interested. In regards to the price action, if you want to see some strength or reversal, you could see the high of the day was $8.10. So what I'd want to see is us being able to actually reclaim around $8.73. This would be a clear area of resistance. If we get past 8.73, that's where I'd want to see if we could reclaim the 21-day EMA, which is at $9.29. If we reclaim this level, then there's a strong possibility we can make that move going to $10, which will be a psychological area. That's us getting back into the double-digit territory. I am not seeing this for the coming week, but it is possible since SOFI does see a lot of volume. But for now, I do see some more downside for this coming week. So let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for SOFI. So for the off-exchange short volume ratio, it is at 56.02%. And then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 10 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 2.2 million, updated 29 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.49%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 7th, it was at 63.06. And then for the close of the 8th, being at 56.02. So that is a significant decrease right there, but that's still significantly high for the short volume ratio. And taking into consideration the short interest percentage of the float is at 17.81%, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SOFI. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 59 39.88. And then on the outflow, it's at 42.93. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 0.91. On the medium, it was 35.75. And then on the small, it was 23.22. Keep in mind, these numbers are in the millions. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 28.86. And then on the small, it was 14.07. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for Friday, April the 8th, we had an inflow of 0.91 million. But you can see for the 4 trading days prior to that, they have all been outflow days. No surprises with the recent updates we received, and I will talk about that in the final thoughts. But moving further, as we analyze numbers for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had a lot more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was right around 4.71%. So this is a consistent range for SOFI. We know it does trade at relatively high volume, and this is what contributes to its overall volatility. So let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for SOFI, before we start talking about the price action, let's talk about what has gone down as of late. We're going to go over a quick overview. So if you guys remember what I said in my previous video, they were talking about extending the student loans, and that's exactly what they did, and it has been extended all the way out until August. So SOFI had to come back with new guidance. Ended up being 7% lower than what they expected previously. So this is why we have this reaction inside of the market. Plus, on top of that, we have all of these analyst price targets that have come out, and there's a lot of price cuts. So that is why we're seeing a pullback in the stock, and we were able to visit 52-week lows. But like I also said in the previous video, this could be an opportunity for anyone that's been looking to invest in the stock. In regards to the price action for SOFI, it needs to come back to the 21-day EMA, which is at $9.29. Once it's able to reclaim this level, I can see bulls wanting to come in, purchase some more shares so we can make that move going to $10. Of course, $10 will be a psychological area for this stock. So there could be a lot of profit taking and so forth, but that's where we need that above average volume to push this stock even further. But if we decide to have a pullback for this coming week, the levels that you want to look out for, again, is another test right around that 52-week low. It could possibly break through that. And what I'd want to see, can $7 hold up? If $7 can hold and when that CPI data ends up coming out and it ends up being bad, then of course SOFI can get down to $6. But here's the thing, if that data comes out, which many people are expecting it to be bad since it's taking into consideration the month of March, as long as it's around expectations or even slightly below expectations, there might be a chance for SOFI to actually rally and start making a move back to the upside, since all of the bad news is already out of the way. So these are one of the reasons why you want to keep a very close eye on this play, especially if you're thinking about taking an investment or you're looking for a trading opportunity, because we know how fast this stock can move. But another thing you want to keep an eye on if you are investing in this play is how that next earnings report is going to turn out. It will be crucial and it will have a dramatic impact on the stock. If it ends up being underwhelming, this stock could pull back even more. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So that's why I say you want to keep a close eye on this play. Look out for catalysts and so on, because it moves very quickly. But with that said, with the environment that we have going on inside of the stock market, there's no need to rush a position whatsoever. I have many people sending me messages saying that, hey, there's a possible chance that SOFI could be a buyout target. So if you feel that SOFI is going to be getting bought out in the near term, then you're going to want to be looking to take a position in the near term before that actually happens. But if you want to sit on the sidelines and wait and see how things unravel, that is perfectly fine as well. I don't believe in having FOMO, and I'm not going to be jumping into the play, especially when I'm going to be relying on speculation that is out there. But if SOFI does get bought up, then there's actually a really good chance the stock price will move up, because a lot of times the takeover target or the company being acquired, which would be SOFI in this example, there would be a premium that would be paid, and that's why the stock price would run up. So that's why I would say continue to do some more homework and do some more due diligence. But you just have to make sure that you have a strategy. This is very important. You just don't want to rely on speculative information and base your investment decisions from there. And if you are a trader, just make sure you're keeping an eye on the overall momentum of the market. SOFI does trade in the fintech space, so it is going to move alongside other fintech players. But you also have to see who those leaders are and keep them all on your watch list. This will give you a good idea in regards to sentiment and how the stock is performing alongside with its peers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how this stock performs for the coming week. We'll talk soon.